I plan on retiring before the age of 50, and I'm going to break down that plan into 5 steps I'm taking to achieve that goal. For anybody new, my name is Kevin, aka FinTrack Freedom, and I'm a 25-year-old Canadian who has been investing since I was 21. It wasn't up until a couple of years ago when I discovered the FIRE movement, financial independence retirement early, and ever since I did, I became obsessed. I immediately changed my lifestyle to living very frugally below my means and maximizing my savings and investments in every way possible. Before we dive into the steps I'm taking to reach financial freedom, I do encourage each and every one of you to hit that subscribe button as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And also, while you're at it, a like rating and a ding of the notification bell would also be much appreciated. Step 1, having a plan. None of this is possible without a plan or goals. Whenever I have a goal for myself, I write it down somewhere to try and keep myself accountable. This step is mostly common sense, but being able to set a goal and plan is what gets your foot in the door with the idea of being able to conquer early retirement. This plan is different for everyone. So this video is not a how-to video. So basically, my plan is these 5 steps that I'm going over. The primary goal I have is to have $2 million by the age of 50 or even before. We will cover later on why that number is so important to me. Step number 2, eliminating all debt ASAP. This is something I can be proud to say. I currently owe $0 in debt, no car loans, no student loans, nothing. The only real acceptable debt, in my opinion, would be a mortgage at a reasonable rate, but I am yet to be a homeowner, although I do plan to buy my first property within the next couple of years anyways. Eliminating bad debt is a crucial thing to do before you start trying to build wealth. This is something that varies between person to person. We all encounter debt at some point or another, but I do believe clearing debt and starting on a fresh slate was one of the most important steps to help me, that's helping me reach financial independence. Step 3, living below my means. To each person, this can be different, but for me, this is limiting eating out, ordering food, avoiding expensive clothes, expensive shoes, cars, accessories, and not trying to impress people by living a certain way or owning certain items. There's a saying that I love that goes something along the lines of, don't go broke trying to look rich. And unfortunately, I think that's a trap that a lot of younger people around my age fall into. Step 4, save, 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 invest, invest, invest. Currently, I'm saving and investing a vast majority of my income. I don't make a big 6-figure salary, but I do make enough to where I can pay for necessities, rent, groceries, etc., and contribute on average $2,300 a month into the markets. I'm only about 5 years into my profession, so I'm rather young in the working world, and I only expect to increase my salary pay year over year at my job on a consistent basis. I also do have a couple side hustles that I'd love to scale the income on, one of which could be this YouTube channel one day if I hit 1,000 subs. Please sub. So step 4 kind of leads me into step 5, and the final step, increasing my income. As I just mentioned, I need to scale my income over time. A goal I'm trying to set for myself for age 30, so in 5 years from now, is to be able to consistently save/invest $3,500 a month. And based on prior pay increases I've gotten at my job and the growth of my side hustles, I think $3,500 a month is very obtainable. Now that we've gotten my 5 steps out of the way, let's jump back to step number 1, my goal of $2 million. Why is this number important to me? It's actually quite simple. Once I no longer work for an income, I'll need to start withdrawing from my investments. A good rule of thumb is the 4% rule, meaning you withdraw 4% of your investments annually, and that's what you live off of. For example, 4% of $2 million is $80,000. So $80,000 would be my yearly income when I'm retired. And if $80,000 isn't enough for your needs, for example, you'd have to have a more valuable nest egg to retire off of. For example, if you needed to make $160,000 a year in retirement, you would need about $4 million in investments to withdraw off of. Why is 4% a good rule of thumb? Well, it's because assuming your money is still on the market, your money is still going to be growing at about 5 to 7% a year. I can't predict the future, but that's kind of just that's kind of the average of what it's always gone up at. So in essence, your portfolio would never go down in value over a long period of time. Obviously, I can't predict the market or market crashes, so just assuming the market returns an average of 5 to 7%, your portfolio would still gradually increase even when you're taking money out of it to live off of. I'm now popping over to a compound interest calculator, something I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to achieve $2 million dollars before the age of 50. I'll put a link to this website in the description so you can try it out for yourself too if you haven't already. So basically here in initial investment, this is how much you currently have in the markets. I am currently sitting at about $96,000, so we'll put 96,000 in there. And my monthly contribution currently is $2,300. The length in years, I'm going to do 5 years because, like I mentioned in my steps, by the age of 30, I'm looking to up my monthly contribution to 3,500. So we're just going to do the length and time up until the time I'm 30. And the estimated interest rate, we're going to put 5% with a variance range of 2%. So now when we hit calculate, we'll see a nice little graph here for the next 5 years. And if we go over here, we can see year 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. So if we go to year 5, assuming we get a return of 5%, which is actually below the average, we would be sitting at $275,000 in investments at the age of 30. But if that was a 7% return, we can see it's 293,000, and at only 3%, it's 257,000. So obviously 5 years doesn't bring me to the age of 50. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take 257,000, assuming I only got a 3% return over the next 5 years, and we're going to compound this now. So I think it was 257,000. I think that's right. That is correct. And as I said, I'm assuming I'm age 30 right now. I'm going to increase the monthly contribution up, and I'm going to change the time to 20 years, which will bring me to age 50. We're going to still do 5% with a variance of 2%. So, as we can see here, so this is assuming we had a very bad 5 years over the next 5 years that only brought us up to $250,000 only. We would still, at a average increase of 5% compounded annually, be at $2,070,000. And that is actually more than our goal. Even the base case scenario with the current amount, I'm investing 1.6 million. So that brings me pretty close to my goal, even at a very, very low return. But as you can see at the top there, 7%, $2.7 million by age 50. If we bring this down here, like assuming we got some really, really good years, it's hard to say. I can't predict the future, but I could potentially have the $2 million goal by the age of 46. That is pretty crazy to see. I hope that all made sense how I'm kind of aiming to reach that $2 million mark. As I've said so many times, I can't predict the future. I don't know what the average compounded rate is going to be. I'm just going off past market performance, something you got to keep in mind. So everyone, that is how I plan to retire before the age of 50, and those are the steps that I plan on taking to get there. But that is going to do it for this video, everyone. I really appreciate it if you have made it this far. If you haven't already for some reason, left a like down below or subscribed to help me reach 1,000 subs, I suggest that you do that so you never miss a video on my FinTrack freedom journey. If I missed any valuable information or if you have any questions, leave me a comment down below so we can chat. Other than that, I'll see you all in my next video. See y'all later.